G'day students. Okay, what we're going to learn in this video is how to substitute values into an algebraic expression. Okay, looking at the first question, evaluate the expression 2b subtract a when a equals 3 and b equals 10. So we always start these questions by writing down the expression. Now what we're going to do is substitute in place of a, because we know its value, in place of a we're going to write a 3, and in place of b we're going to write a 10. Now I've got to show multiply. I can't just write a 10 without the multiply sign because it looks too much like 210. So I either have to use a little multiply sign or a dot. In fact, I'll use a dot in this case, 2 times 10. And I'll make that a bit more neat, I think. There we go. And an equal sign. And then finally, 2 times 10 is 20, minus 3 is 17. So, really important, whenever you're asked to evaluate an expression, you need to get a number at the end. So, evaluate means number. Okay, look at this one here. It's a little bit more challenging because of the negative numbers. So we start by writing 2x squared take 3y. Now I'm going to replace the x with a negative 3. Now whenever we have a negative number raised to a power, we always put it in brackets. So I'm going to put it in brackets, minus 3. If I'm using brackets on the first one, I might as well use brackets on the y as well. Minus 3 times negative 1. So brackets is another way to show multiplication. Okay, now the reason for the brackets is if you put this into your calculator now, you need those brackets in order to correctly square negative 3. Let's do it in our heads. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. And 9 times 2 is 18. Minus, I'm going to change that to plus a negative, because we now have plus negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So a very common mistake that students make with these sort of questions is they see just a 3 there, and they end up with a subtraction, and they just end up with a negative or a subtraction. So it's a negative times a negative gives a positive. Okay, now the other way you could be asked to substitute is you're given an equation, y equals 2x cubed minus 1. You're given 4 values for x, and you need to work out the related values for y. So I'll do the first one with full setting out, and I'll do the other 3 in my head. And again, I'm doing the first one with setting out because we're raising a negative number to a power. So I would start the setting out by writing down the equation, y equals 2x cubed, take 1, and in place of the x, I have to write negative 2. So I'll put that in brackets. Okay. Order of operations, I raise to the power first before I multiply. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 2 by negative 2 is 4. 4 by negative 2 is negative 8. So that becomes 2 times negative 8, subtract 1. Well, 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Negative 16 subtract 1 is negative 17, and then I write that value in the table. Okay, that's the trickiest one. Why don't you go ahead and stop the video, fill in the rest of the table, and come back and check your answers. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this off. So this one I'll do in my head. 0 replaces x. Well, 0 to any power is 0. 2 times 0 is 0, so that whole expression equals 0. 0 subtract 1 is negative 1. Putting in 2 in place of x, well, 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. And the last one, 4 times 4 times 4. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. Times 4 is 64. 64 times 2 is 128. 128 minus 1 is 127. So the one that was the trickiest one, and therefore showed the working for it, was having to go 2 times -2 all cubed. Okay, I'd like you to read the question here and have a go at this question. And so stop the video, come back when you've done that. Okay, welcome back, students. Okay, let's get started. It takes 3n all over p plus 1 minutes to package biscuits, where n is the number of biscuits and p is the number of packing machines. How long does it take to package 1,500 biscuits? So that's going to be n. The number of biscuits is n, and there are 99 packing machines, so the 99 is going to be the number of the value for p. Once again, we start by writing the expression. Second step, we substitute. So we say 3 times 1,500 all over, and if p is 99, 99 plus 1 is 100. So write the expression, substitute, and the third step is called evaluate. 3 times 15 is 45 over 100. I can divide by 10, and I end up with 45 packing machines. Okay, so once again, we start with an expression, we substitute the values, and then we have to evaluate. Next question, 49 machines are to be used to package 2,200 biscuits in 2 hours. Show why this is not possible. But once again, we're going to start with 3n all over p plus 1. Let's go ahead and substitute. And 3 times 2,200, since n is 2,200, and 49 machines, so 49 plus 1 is 50. Okay, well, 3 times 22 is 6,600 all over 50. Divide by 10, and I get 660 divide 5. I could do that in my head, but I'll just use my calculator since I have it here and clear what I've got at the moment. 660 divided by 5 equals 132. And why isn't it possible? Well, 2 hours is only 120 minutes, so therefore it takes longer than 120 minutes. And that's why it's not possible to do it. Okay, last question. Okay, 5 faulty machines have been repaired, so now we have 50 machines